Hello, everyone. Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews. Once again, a chunk of comic book. Let's dive right into it with issue 4 of Ultraman: The Mystery of Ultra 7. Writers Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom. Artist is David Tinto still. And we had Ultraman go after Ultra 7. But then they called in the Monster Force there to fight monsters and became a giant robot called Jack. And now Jack is set to kill Ultra 7 because that's what they do and you get a cool robot at the same time. So an Ultraman, an Ultra 7, and Jack the giant robot killer. So pretty good stuff. It goes pretty quick. It just kind of reads really fast, but this is a great comic book, the Ultraman. If we only had some Kamen Rider comic books, I'm just saying. And issue 9 of Jungle Comics. Jungle Comics has got 3 different comics in it. Cave Babe by F. Newton Burcham. Hidden Island by Paul Beal and Jenny Goad. And Zan of the Jungle by Giuseppe Pederlal and Robert Renzi. Zan is funny because it's tar, sand. Cave Babe is just silly. She looks like that. She's a pin-up Cave Babe. And cavemen try to do things to her. And they always get told no. And then they put a cute little pin-up of Cave Babe in the back. Hidden Island, they're fighting pirates this time. Pirates and dinosaurs, all sorts of good stuff. With Zan of the Jungle. Everyone is captured and Zan has to go save the day, but he is left to be sent to the monster's cave because he dared lay hands on the queen of the jungle. So, good stuff. Old pulpy kind of thing, but still good. Sonic the Hedgehog Special. Tails 30th Anniversary. This is so cute. Let me get to the people. Story is by Ian Flynn. The art is Aaron Hammerstrom. And it is basically a continuation of the Tails solo game, Tails Sky Patrol, where he has to fight Witch Cart. And she runs around. She looks so much like a, what's a good word I'm looking for? A Hayao Miyazaki villain. Everything's drawn very, very cute. But let me see if I can find a good spot with this Witch Cart. First I gotta get through these guys. Hold on a minute. We got the bad guy. He has to fight all the different bad guys and then save everything for Witch Cart. She really just looks like a Hayao Miyazaki villain. This is a great little comic book. If you ever played Sky Patrol, here's your continuation. Going the other way, this would be Cradle of Filth. Number 5. You make it in small print. This is got 2 stories. Lilith Immaculate, written by Kurt Ackerman and art by Minton 3. That's his name, I guess. And it deals with Lilith, who was supposedly with Adam before Eve. Lilith had a will of her own, though, so she goes off to and show how she takes over the weak minds of men. And to make sure we get paid attention, there's a second story called The Doomed, written by Holly Interlande, art by Daniel Main, and it all takes place in a convent where Lilith is at. So, it's kind of fun. These are just the oddest stories, but it's kind of fun having a Cradle of Filth comic book. Yep. And they all cost $6.66. Brought back our favorite from the vault, West of Sundown. Number 6. Written by Tim Seeley and Aaron Campbell. Drawn by Jim Terry. When last we left everybody, they had sent the bad guy to his just rewards. Now there are monsters trying to steal children. Our lady who's in charge, the vampire girl, has to send out her guy to go and take care of business, and it's a fun comic book. We're probably in trouble, though, because I'm pretty sure Dr. Moreau shows up at the end. So if you like your westerns all gothy with monsters and women with tarantula faces, then this is the book for you. Good stuff. She-Hulk. We're still stuck in the 90s with these things. This is number 8. Rainbow Rowell is the writer. Takashi Miyazawa is the artist. When last we left Jennifer, she was kidnapped by this couple that we'd seen earlier with a little tiny woman and a really big dumb guy. Apparently they had tried to be Hulks, and they figured She-Hulk was the best stuff to use. Unfortunately, that's not how Hulk works. So one's got the dumb Hulk problem, the other one has the leader problem. Big brain, big dummy. So we'll see exactly what they're going to do to try to fix that problem. You can't tell anything from the covers, though, because it's just She-Hulk in her fashion pose with Jack of Hearts. So, still a good book. All right. New number 1, Gold Goblin. Showed up in a recent episode, issue, whatever you want to call it, of Spider-Man. Our writer is Christopher Cantwell. Lan Medina is our artist. And Norman is being better. But he is on the road to redemption, trying to be good old Norman Osborn, hanging out with his grandson. But there's this specter of Gwen always hanging over him because of Day of Judgment, showing him, that it's literally all his fault. And so he's just a man with a lot of demons, and he's trying to make everything right and become the new Gold Goblin. He doesn't like that they're calling him a goblin. First thing he does is go after Jack-O-Lantern, who's a wannabe at best. And this is going to lead into the next thing with the big crossover. I thought I'll announce it now. They're bringing back the Inferno storyline, but they're using Spider-Man in it. It's called Dark Web, and Gold Goblin will be part of it, so I figured why not get them all. Yeah, Thunderbolts number 4. I think we only got one more. All right, so we have... Oh, hold on, I got to find the... Here we are. Jim Zub is the writer. Sean Izaakse and Netho Diaz are the pencilers. Sean, whose name is so much fun to say, and Victor Olazaba are the inkers. So Sean does penciling and then has help with pencils, and then Sean does inking and has help with inking. So, the Thunderbolts show up to take care of business, but the whole comic book feels off. Like, why is America Chavez look like Miss America from World War II? Why does the new Power Man look like the old Power Man? Purple Girl's wearing 90s clothes. Bobby Morris is back. Mockingbird. What's going on? I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to figure it out with the rest of us. But it does leave you with a very interesting cliffhanger. So, next issue is the grand finale. We'll see how they clear it up in one issue. If I'd have known, I'd probably wait for the trade paperback. Alright, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. This is getting going, the origin of the rings. Gene Luen Yang is the writer, Marcus To is the artist. When we last left our people, they were in charge of a giant combat thing where they have to fight each other to get rings, to collect the most rings, to be the winner, so that they can have the rings. Of course, we all know that Shang's going to win, but it's fun to watch a good fight. We have one more issue where the end of this starts, and then this is Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. So the next comic book, so they can have another number 1, is going to be called Shang-Chi Master of the Rings. So we get another one. Yay! All right, 2 left. Oh yeah, let's save the funnest one for most fun. Number 10 of Sheena of the Jungle, written by Stephen E. D'Souza, art by Ediano Silva. We left Sheena and the boys on an island with dinosaurs and Nazis. But she has her friends, her little monkey, her little panther, her little squawky bird. So they come to help save the day, to fight the Nazis, to beat the crap out of a giant T-Rex dinosaur. You get a cool thing with Nazis and submarines and dinosaurs and Sheena all in one big gatefold page. It feels like they wrapped it up. It feels like this is the end of Sheena. I don't remember. Let me take a look real quick, because it felt like they were going to end it, which would be sad, because this has been a pretty good This has been a pretty good book. I've been really happy with this Sheena. Yeah, he discusses Sheena 10, but it says it's the end, about her going back to finishing school to flunk her French test. So, but it does say, wait till you see what we're planning for the next issue, so I'm hoping that this isn't canceled. We'll find out. Our goofiest comic book of the week, Shirtless Bear Fighter number 2. I do need to remind you, his name is Shirtless. He is not because he's not wearing a shirt. His foster parents are bears. He showed up with no shirt on. They called him Shirtless. They're very blunt. Writer Jody Lehiup. Artist is Nil Vendrill. We're trying to figure out with Shirtless why is he going and killing all of these innocent bears? There are two kinds of bears. There are bad bears and there are good bears. So then they figure out that he's a clone. So Shirtless, meanwhile, in the prison, has to fight all of these bad guys. So let's go down the list. We've got a guy that shaves him. His name is Manscraper instead of Manscaper. Get it? All right. And then we have, who are the rest of them? Let's see. They list off their names. Eagle Choker. It's a giant Russian always choking an eagle. That's his name. Flapjacker, trying to steal all the world's supply of flapjacks. Coach Grizz is a very intense maniac coach with a t-shirt cannon. Fatal Furry. She's a furry with guns and no pants. Barbecutioner, where he will kill you with barbecue. But luckily, the Shirtless has friends, and it takes him about a minute and a half to grow back his beard, so he'll be fine. They figure out that the guy's the clone. It always doesn't hurt. It just gets me where they always show him like this with just the biggest pixelated area you could ever see. This is the clone who calls himself Pantless, Shirtless Bear Fighter. Because he is a bear fighter of a bear fighter. So now they have to fight each other. And have to fight the giant bear god who kind of looks like that. So he's a big boy. All right. So there's all your comic books for the week. Like I said, there was a lot. Sophie, Fiona, you did not come over this weekend because we got all the snow here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We could measure it over a foot. It was quite a lot. Apparently it'll all melt next week. So we'll have a happy Thanksgiving without the snow. In the meantime, remember, libraries are always got comic books. If you live in Kalamazoo, Fanfare Comics, you can sign up for their club, $5 a year to get 20% off your books. If I'm wrong about that, someone correct me, but I think that's right. So until next week, go read a comic book.